Good morning all, and welcome to another Micrographics webinar hosted by myself, Carl van Rooyen. We're going to jump straight in. Today we're going to be having a look, basically having a high-level discussion about Fusion Manage. It's a cloud-based product lifecycle management platform, also known as a PLM. It is offered by Autodesk. We'll have a look at what a PLM is, why it can benefit you, and then I'll be highlighting a few key features of Fusion Manage. Let's move on to the agenda, have a look at what is in store. So we'll start off by opening up with an introduction to what PLM is. We'll give an overview of basically, as I said, what a PLM is, the key phases of a product lifecycle, and introduce you to Fusion Manage. This will be followed by overviews of the following features and templates within Fusion Manage, the product portfolio management section, new product introduction, requirements management, quality management, and finally, change management. I'll then close off the webinar with a summary and Q&A. Please feel free to use the live chat at any point to send through questions or comments. I'll answer them as part of the Q&A at the end of the webinar. You can, however, feel free to kick off the chat with putting in a quick hi and where you're tuning in from. So let's start off today by asking a few questions. Firstly, how are you managing the following? New and existing products, product requirements and compliance, quality control, change management, and finally, end of life of a product. And for each of these sections, we have a few questions. For new and existing products, what is your process for vetting new ideas, bringing new ideas to the market, ensuring its compliance, and managing your existing product catalog? Requirements and compliance, are all departments on board with these? Are they all aligned to the same goal? Quality, how is quality control tracked? How are deviations managed? I'm talking about deviations, change and change orders. Are quality issues tracked correctly, leading to change orders? Are change orders being tracked correctly, and are they being actioned in time? And lastly, end of life. What is the plan when your product reaches the end of life and needs to be retired? Now, consider your product management process. Does it look something like the image on the right? With each department working within their own silos, using disconnected tools and manual processes that slow down innovation and increase the risk of errors. This is where a cohesive product lifecycle management or PLM solution steps in. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is a product lifecycle management or PLM solution or package? In the next few slides, I'll define what PLM is, its scope, and why it's important. I'll then go on to share how Autodesk Fusion Manage can fulfill the scope of a PLM system. Firstly, let's start with the basics. Product Lifecycle Management, or PLM, is a strategic framework used to manage a product's journey from concept to retirement. The phases of the journey are concept or ideation, design and development, manufacture and production, service and support, and finally, end of life. But it's not just about each individual phase or software managing those individual phases. It's about integrating the people, process, and data across the entire product lifecycle, ensuring all stakeholders have all the information they need when they need it. Let's have a closer look at these 5 phases. Concept and ideation. This is where ideas are born. Market research, feasibility studies, and early sketches happen during this phase. Design and development. CAD tools come into play here. Engineers create models, run simulations, and refine prototypes. Manufacture and production. Here we move from digital to physical. Production planning, tools, and quality control are key in this area. Service and support. Once the product is in the field, PLM helps track maintenance, updates, and customer feedback. And then once again, finally, end of life. Eventually, products are retired. PLM supports decisions around recycling, disposal, redesign, or repurposing of those products. So why does a PLM matter? Having a solid PLM solution offers several strategic benefits. It creates a centralized data management, or the centralized data management allows for all products and related data to be stored, versioned, and accessible. Improved collaboration through allowing teams access across departments and geographies to work from a single source of truth. Faster time to market due to streamlined workflows, reduced delays and bottlenecks. Better quality and compliance when using a PLM to help ensure products meet standards, regulations, and track internal quality control processes. We've seen the challenges many organizations face in product development and what a PLM is, shown by the image here on the right-hand side. Disconnection, emails flying back and forth, Word documents, PDFs, no real central solution to guide the process. So now let's have a look at how Fusion Manage addresses these issues by providing a cloud-based platform that connects people, processes, and data across the entire product lifecycle. Whether you're in engineering, quality, or supply chain, Fusion Manage helps everyone stay aligned and work more efficiently. It's designed to streamline workflows from ideation to launch using pre-configured templates that are easy to tailor to your business needs. Also, through its API, Fusion Manage can also integrate with systems like PDM, ERP, and CRM, allowing it to fit into your existing ecosystem. And we can see a much more streamlined ecosystem on the right-hand side there with Autodesk, PLM, Fusion Manage at its center. So now let's talk about the value of Fusion Manage, or the value that Fusion Manage can bring to your organization before we start to dive deeper into some of its functionality. First, it can offer real-time visibility into product data and workflows, so teams can make informed decisions faster. So we can see their dashboards on the right-hand side showing information in real time to the users. It's scalable. Whether you're a small team or a global enterprise, Fusion Manage grows with you. There are various areas of Fusion Manage that you can enable when needed, various what they call templates that you can switch on and configure as needed. And because it's cloud-based, you can access it securely from anywhere without the need for a local on-site server or VPNs to connect to it. Automated workflows and built-in reporting tools also reduce manual tasks and improve productivity. And most importantly, Fusion Manage gives you the flexibility to start small and expand as your needs evolve, making it a future-proof solution for product lifecycle management. The next few slides here will highlight a few key areas of Fusion Manage. These areas we'll highlight are going to be product portfolio management, new product introduction, requirements management, quality management, and change management. These are only a select few features of Fusion Manage. More features are listed in the image to the right, but a comprehensive list can also be found on the Autodesk product page. I do have a link in the description. Just to have a quick highlight on the right-hand side here in the image as well, we'll see that there are various features, or as Autodesk terms them, templates, for Fusion Manage. And each of these templates here on the right-hand side are customizable so that you can set up the processes within each of those areas. So let's have a look at the first area, product portfolio management. Fusion Manager's product portfolio management capabilities allow you to structure your entire product ecosystem. You can group products into categories, lines, and portfolios, making it easier to manage large and complex product families. On the right, we see a submenu for product portfolio management. In it, it has options to access the hierarchy of your product portfolio, starting with the actual products. So top of the list there, we have the products. These products then can be grouped together to form a product line. Multiple product lines can fall under the top level grouping that would be your product categories. Now, as a quick example for this, we could have a look at, let's say, a conveyor belt manufacturer. Their product categories may be broken down into products for food handling or for mining, depending on, let's say, the type of environment that the conveyor is going to be in. Then within a specific category, let's say within mining, they may have various product lines. They could have a product line for belt conveyors or a product line for roller conveyors. And then within each of those product lines, there could be separate products. Those could be your straight sections of conveyor, inclined conveyors, conveyor corners. So the top three sections here allow you to categorize and split out your various products. The life cycle of each product is also tracked from ideation through development, launch, and even retirement or end of life. We can see here on the diagram to the right, we have our life cycle tab selected for a twin roller conveyor product. So across the top, we can see our product naming, description, and various tabs for information relating to that project. Specifically here, we're looking at the lifecycle tab. And at this point here, we're looking at product selection. So we're going through the selection process. But the lifecycle chart here shows us the various states during the new, basically in this case, the new product, where it is within its life cycle. So currently, product selection. And just to make a note here of this, there's that yellow checkbox there, or that yellow note list there says checklist may be defined for key states. So at this specific point, there may be a set of checklists that have to be achieved and checked off before it can move to the next stage. Let's say in this case, moving on to product development. We'll talk a little bit later on about new product introduction and also about these dynamic checklists. So we see all the relevant data such as the specifications, documentations, bill of materials, classifications, and so on. And project references are stored in one centralized workspace. So coming back here to the product tab to view the product. We can currently see the general product information in the image with tabs to expose more information such as attachments. These attachments could be supporting documentation, specifications, etc. So I highlighted the tabs across the top there again. We were looking at the life cycle. We've come back now looking at the product tab. We also have milestones, variants, various other tabs that will store different information relating back to this exact product. Now, one of the standout features one of the standout features is the use of dynamic checklists. So as I mentioned, when a product is in a specific state, there can be checklists. So these ensure that each product meets specific criteria before progressing to the next life cycle, stage. And you can customize these checklists for different product types, such as new developments, variants, or updated products. And looking at the image here on the right-hand side, the first column shows us a product status. So when a product is in the product selection state, there are 3 checks that need to be done. We have resources, evaluating and prioritizing resources. That check needs to be done. Product requirements need to be met. Business plan needs to be done, submitted, and accepted. And once those 3 checks are done, only then can that product move on to the next state. And these dynamic checklists can be created as part of the template, and they are automatically putting those checks and balances in place as you work through. So this workspace here is also integrating seamlessly with new product introduction, or NPI, and change management process, giving you full traceability and control. And because it's built on ready-to-use templates, you can deploy and tailor it quickly to your organization's needs. Now, talking about new product introduction, or NPI, these NPI capabilities are designed to streamline the entire product development process. Projects bring together stakeholders from engineering, marketing, quality, and supply chain into a single coordinated workflow. Projects are structured using a phase gate approach, where each phase represents a key milestone in the product lifecycle. As a project progresses, Fusion Manage automatically generates tasks for each stakeholder, ensuring that deliverables are completed on time and reviewed before moving forward. So this goes back to those dynamic tasks lists that I spoke about previously in the product, within the products area. Here we're looking at new product introduction. We have different phases that new products introductions can go through. So we're looking at specification phase highlighted there at the top. That phase gate would require specific checks to be met, and that dynamic checklist would have specifications area and then a set of checks and balances that need to be marked off in that specific state. Once those are all checked off, we go through phase gate G1 onto concept. Concept state will now have a new set of checks that need to be approved before we can go through phase gate 2, and the process will repeat itself. So these tasks are grouped by project phase and tracked using built-in Gantt views, giving teams a clear picture of progress and dependencies. Each task can be linked to a specific deliverable, such as documents, designs, or bill of materials, providing full traceability. So once again, here we can see on the right-hand side the Gantt view with the various tasks. So right at the top, looking at specifications, we have a 64% progress there on the specifications, according to the number of days required or given for each of those tasks. So we even have a start and an end date for those specific tasks, and they need to be checked off, and we can easily see the progress and status for those various tasks. Once those tasks are then achieved or completed, we'll go into gate 1, and we can then see gate 1, it can be approved, and we move down onto concept. And the chart on the right hand side, they're giving us an idea of how far into the process we are and if we are ahead or behind of schedule. The project dashboard also allows stakeholders to see all relevant information in one space. So for our new project or our new product introduction, we have that project dashboard showing the project as a whole, and this ensures quick access to data that matters to the specific stakeholders. So here we have a project dashboard. We can see this is for a multi-purpose conveyor dryer, and on the details page here we can see the project number, title, the description, but important at the bottom there we can see project KPIs. We can see that we've already gone over budget and we're only on phase gate 1, so there's a little bit of a problem here at the moment. days to the next gate. There's 7 days before we need to get to gate 2. So we know we need to quickly step on it because we're only 62% through the first phase. So we can quickly see progress of the project through the KPIs as well. Now, if we look at project templates, they define the structure, duration, and responsibilities for each type of product development. Whether you're launching a new product or updating an existing one, templates will help standardize the process while allowing flexibility. So what we're seeing here on screen is the project template that can be modified for specific projects. So you can set up a default project template to start off the project with and then adjust from there. So this allows some standardization. Let's say it is a new product rollout and you have a longer timeline for that new product rollout, but you may have a shorter timeline for product updates. Let's just say it's a new version, you're making a few small changes. And so you can set up various project templates to allow you to start a project very quickly. And because NPI, or new product introduction, integrates with product portfolio management, as we mentioned a little earlier, and change management, you get a connected end-to-end view of your product development journey. Then moving on to requirements management. Fusion Manager's requirements management capabilities provide a structured environment for capturing and managing product requirements through the development lifecycle. Product requirements, they may be regulatory requirements, let's say for electronic equipment that cannot interfere with other equipment but can accept interference. There could be chemical requirements if it's for the food industry. There could be FDA or food requirements. So those are the sorts of requirements we're looking at, but also in this specific case, requirements here of just general product requirements. And these requirements can be organized in a hierarchy with sub-requirements linked to parent requirements, specifications, validations, and decisions. So looking at, introducing a new product, but what are the requirements for that new product? So in this case here, we have a required specification set up for an Ember printer as an example. And within this overall requirement specification for the development of a new printer, we have a requirement that falls under the specification. And this requirement is for the form factor. So in this case, a size requirement for the printer to adhere to a desktop form factor. So we have our overall specification that we need to meet, and as part of those specifications, we then have requirements. As part of the requirements, we could even have sub-requirements. We can see the tab there at the top of the image there. Sub-requirements is currently 0 sub-requirements. And that may have to do with, let's say, the form factor needs to be a desktop form factor, and a sub-requirement to that form factor may be, let's say, specific power supply or even weight as a sub-requirement. Then approval workflows will allow teams to baseline requirements and track changes over time. These workflows are fully traceable, once again, with revision history and electronic signatures to support compliance and audit readiness. So here we have a look. We can see once again a flowchart showing us the definition of the requirement, internal review for that requirement, and has the product met it, and we can move on to, let's say, releasing that requirement or approving that requirement, and saying that it's a good requirement, we can keep that and work with that. And then lastly, just having a look here at requirement approval. when approving a specific requirement, there may be affected requirements as well. So those are those sub requirements. We can see by the numbering here as well. 0002 point and then the numbering afterwards. We're looking at those requirements that are connected together. Once again, forming that hierarchy of parent and child requirements. Users can also upload supporting documentation, track decisions, and manage validations, all within the same workspace. This ensures that requirements are not only documented, but also verified and approved before implementation. So we can see here, just looking at a test here to make sure that requirements are being managed, we can see that we're looking at an acoustic test, and that's part of the requirement validation. We're validating that this requirement has been met. There was a test. Here is the, on the files tab, we can submit or put in the acoustic test reports information that can validate the requirement. Being a desktop printer, it might be near you, it needs to be quiet. And so we can validate that requirement and have the supporting documentation for that. Then looking at access, role-based access within Fusion Manage ensures that stakeholders only see and interact with the data relevant to their responsibilities. So for example, product managers and engineers may have full access to create and approve requirements, while others may only have read access for visibility to be able to see what requirements need to be met. This structured and collaborative approach helps ensure that products meet customer expectations and comply with industry standards and are developed efficiently and accurately. Then moving on to quality management. The quality management capabilities are designed to help organizations improve product reliability and reduce the cost of poor quality. It provides a centralized cloud-based system that automates quality workflows and connects them directly to product development processes. So here on the right-hand side, if we're talking about quality issues, we have a list of non-conformances. And those non-conformances can be accessed and viewed, and they are linked. And these basically here we can manage a wide range of quality activities within the system, including non-conformance reports, as we see here on screen, return merchandise authorizations or RMAs, corrective and preventative actions, CAPAs, failure mode and effect analysis, FMEA, and supplier corrective action requests or SCARs. Each of these processes is supported by structured workflows that ensure consistency, accountability, and also traceability. So quality issues are tracked end-to-end with audit-ready records, including electronic signatures, making it easy to meet compliance. So having a look here at another set of records, here we're looking at those CAPA or corrective and preventative action items. And these can be linked to specific, in this case, non-conformances. So in the previous slide, we have a non-conformance that's been raised. There is a quality issue. And linked to that non-conformance, we can then have a corrective action. Now, these records can also be linked to change management workflows. That non-conformance has been raised, there's been corrective action, and now we need to create the change requests, change orders, and create a closed loop system that ensures quality feedback leads to actionable improvements. And real-time notifications also keep teams informed of assigned tasks, overdue items, and escalations. Dashboards and reports also provide visibility into quality trends, defect rates, and progress towards goals. We can see on the right-hand side here just a few screenshots of live dashboards. We can see return merchandise authorizations, or RMAs, bottom left there, bottom right, non-conformance by suppliers. So you can see which of your suppliers are slacking, various charts that can be pulled up and seen on the dashboard to get that real-time information on what's going on. And the result is a more proactive approach to quality, reducing errors, minimizing waste, and helping you bring better products to market faster. Then we'll move over to change management. The change management capabilities help organizations handle product and process changes efficiently with full visibility and control. The system supports closed-loop approach, connecting change requests, change orders, tasks, and approvals in one unified workflow. This also, once again, links back to quality. So you can initiate changes from problem reports or corrective actions, CAPAs, or quality issues, non-conformances, and so on. And you can capture the root cause directly within the system. Each change request includes detailed fields for priority, reason codes, affected items, and so on, as well as risk assessment. These requirements can be linked to existing processes to avoid duplication and ensure continuity. Change orders are also managed within structured workflows and electronic approvals. This ensures that all stakeholders are informed and accountable. We can see here in the change management area, we have the various change management sections. We can look at problem reports. Someone can report the issue that moves on into a change request. So if that report is accepted, the issue is raised, the change request can be created, and that moving through the process becomes a change order. And once the change order is processed, we can move on to change tasks so that someone can be tasked to actually make that change. And as mentioned, each step of the process will include specific people who have their stake within that area of the change. Let's say it's the engineer. He's going to get the change task to tell him to change the design to fix the problem. And we also do have quick release options there as well. Now, approval templates define the required reviewers and control board members, streamlining the governance. So as I mentioned, there would be specific people within the template that's defined to control certain areas of the change process. And change tasks are assigned with clear responsibilities and deadlines. The completion is validated before the parent process can move forwards, ensuring quality and accountability. So we can see here we have the schedule and effort. We have tracking going, okay, this task was supposed to start at a specific date. When was it actually started? And we see that it was started 9 days early. Completion date, we have a completion date set there. It was completed on time, so it actually took a little bit longer than 9 days. So we had a target and actual duration there. And so we can see how long each of those tasks was targeted for and how long it took within the change orders. And the real-time dashboards and KPI tracking provides insight into change, into the amount of change, approval cycles, and implementation timelines. This helps teams stay proactive and audit ready. Overall, Fusion Manage enables organizations to reduce delays, improve compliance, and ensure that changes are implemented smoothly across engineering, quality, and supply chain teams. And that'll bring us to our summary for today. So to summarize, Autodesk Fusion Manage is a powerful cloud-based PLM solution that helps organizations streamline their product development process. It connects teams, automates workflows, and centralizes data, making collaboration easy and more effective. We've seen how Fusion Manage supports key areas like product portfolio management, new product introduction, requirements tracking, quality assurance, and change control. Each of these capabilities is backed by configurable templates, real-time dashboards, and secure access from anywhere. Whether you're launching a new product, managing supplier quality, or implementing engineering changes, Fusion Manage provides the tools to do it faster with fewer errors and greater visibility. And because it's scalable, you can start with the processes you need today and expand as your business grows. Fusion Manage adapts to your workflows, not the other way around. And with that, we will conclude the webinar with a Q&A session. If you've been watching live, feel free to use the chat to ask any questions. I'll give a few minutes to let the questions come through and answer them as they pop up. And if you watch the recording, please feel free to contact Micrographics or myself if you have any questions. Our contact details are on screen at the moment, and Micrographics contact details will be on one of the last slides. I'll give a few minutes just to have a look to see if any questions come through. Okay, we don't have any questions that have come through, so I'll go ahead and close off the webinar. I'd like to thank you once again for joining this webinar, brought to you by Micrographics and Autodesk reseller. If you enjoyed the webinar or you would like to see more content, then please feel free to check out our YouTube channel. We've got various employees that will post up videos on a regular basis, both in the engineering as well as architectural realms. So please feel free to go have a look, like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for our other live webinars coming up. Once again, my name is Carl van Rooyen. Thank you very much. And on screen is our company details, Micrographics, bottom left-hand side. If you wish to view our website or need any more information, you can use those contact details. Thank you and goodbye.